Hello everyone. So, Dirk Ulrich, CEO of Plugin Alliance, said to me that my test setup was wrong for my most recent plugin shootout that I did of the Lindell 50 series plugin. So, obviously, imagine me, you know, a little autistic me, I took a little bit of an umbrage to that. So, just for you, Dirk, I have decided to do a brand new test. Possibly a fairer test. A blank slate test. Everything is completely level as physically possible. Okay, we'll call this a scientific test. So, Plugin Alliance, Lindell 50 series versus ACUSTICA Pink. The scientific test. Let's do it. As you would imagine, I didn't think very well, because I'm a very, as Sir Alex Ferguson always says, very proud. I am a very proud person, and yes, I didn't take well to that, because I always feel like I do my plugin shootouts as fair as physically possible, and in that last test I do suggest you watch it, because it's been doing really well. It's one of the fastest growing videos I've had yet. Probably, I think it's actually got the most likes I've ever had on a video. I took a lot of time on it, as much as say 14 hours, just painstakingly going back and forth to try and get the Lindell to sound like ACUSTICA. Now what I did with the ACUSTICA in that video was, in a nutshell, I used it intuitively and I utilised all the tools that ACUSTICA given me to a certain extent. I kept it as the 500A and the 500B, and I kind of mucked about with pre's and stuff, and just mucked about with things to use the tools that I had. I used it intuitively. To me, that's how you do a plugin test, is utilising everything that's given to you. But a lot of people felt that was unfair because I didn't use the proportional cues. Now, the proportional cues, for anybody that doesn't know, is the hardware API cues. So a proportional cue, when you're boosting kind of low levels, it'll be a wide cue, and then what will happen is the more you boost, it'll then narrow. Now, this is going to be as fair as a test as you're ever going to get. Right, you're not going to find a fairer test on this, right? I very much doubt it. So, long story short, I'm using both EQs, okay? So I'm using the 50A and the 50B, okay? And you go from 50A to 50B, you'll notice that the pre, like the linear frequency response, doesn't change. Now, in the ACUSTICA manual, it tells you, okay? It tells you that 1 is for A and 2 is for B. Right? It tells you, okay? So obviously, when I'm in Plugin Doctor, I can see the natural linear frequency response of the A, what the 500A should, or the 550, I get confused with the two, what the A should sound like. And what you'll find is that it's actually got a reduced bass frequency. Now the 50B is basically bang on a 50B, right? I can get the curves of ACUSTICA, the pre of B, and the curves of B, the proportional Q, okay, which is the hardware, I can get them exact, right? With a little bit of like mucking about, I can get them, and playing with a high pass filter and stuff, I can kind of get them be basically as close as you're going to get, okay, as close as you're going to get. And again, you can use the TMT. Now, I am going to apologise because I kind of made out that I was a little bit iffy about TMT in the last video. I don't like the stereo thing, right? I'm just going to say I don't, that's my opinion. But looking into it, it is quite cool that with the TMT channels, it changes the linear frequency response, which is quite cool because it's, I think if you don't link them, then again, you're just kind of getting almost like different slight tolerances, and that's what the TMT is. I'm pretty sure it's like analog can have between 5 to 20% tolerance in like linear frequency response and stuff like that, or just tolerance in general. I'm not entirely sure. So it is quite cool, and what I found was that the TMT channel 10 was actually the closest to the ACUSTICA curves, and again, ACUSTICA sample the hardware. You just need to know that the 50A, I can't get the curves of the 50A to be exact. I just can't do it because it's not a 50A. So I've got to use the A EQ and the B pre of the ACUSTICA to get it as close as possible. Again, proportional Q does need to be on, okay? In terms of the compressors, all the compressors are at the exact same settings, exact same gain reduction, okay? The insane settings on the compressor, and I have also got the filter in the compressor of the ACUSTICA, because that gives me the schmod So again, SMOD is your attack envelope. So I know that the SMOD is sitting at 2, which is the hardware attack envelope. Okay, so the compressors, again, are set to the hardware, right? In terms of CPU, genuinely, the ×8 option is the same as the ACUSTICA with the insane setting of the compressor. So it's ×8, okay, ×8, exact same CPU, okay? And then, right, in terms of THD, I've got the THD at the default setting, because that is, in the middle, that's the hardware, right? That's the hardware, which again is what the ACUSTICA is. The ACUSTICA Pre is the, again, if you have it in the 0 setting again, so you'll see that the Lindell's at 0, and you'll see that the ACUSTICA is at 0, like 0 dB, like dBFS or dBVU or whatever, right? That's the default setting, that's your 0, okay? And again, they're all gain matched correctly using the MV meter 2, so they're all getting -18. There's a trigger, it's a free plugin, MV meter 2, right? All you do is you click a preset and it's like standard VU, and then what you do is you just type in -18, you go to the loudest part of your track or your source, you press the trigger and it automatically adjusts the gain to -18. So I'm guaranteeing that everything is getting -18. Right, so everything's game matched, everything's fair, and there are 2 last things, okay, that you might not know, because again, I went through the Lindell manual this time, okay. Now you've got clipping options. I have got, okay, the hard clipping in, right. So the soft clipping is the default setting. Now it really should be the hard clipping, because it says in the manual that the hard clipping is basically the op amp, right. That's basically like the hardware settings of the op amp. So it's hard clipping, okay? So you should have hard clipping if you're going to try and get the 2 of them, the ACUSTICA and that, to match, because again, the ACUSTICA sample the hardware, okay? So everything should be bang on in terms of the harmonics, okay? So all of that should be like counted for. So, right, hard clip in the Lindell, and lastly, I've got the frequencies stepped. So you can step the frequencies. So you can have it a constant, where it's going to kind of just move up like that, or you can have stepped, but it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. You know, it's going to, instead of being able to say 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, it's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8. It's going to be stepped, okay? Which actually makes it easier to do this comparison. Everything's the way it should be, set default to the hardware. Everything is matched to integral LUFS. Somebody said to me, you need to level match your comparisons better, and I'm like, what? They're integral LUFS. I use U lead meter, okay? Integral LUFS is your average loudness. It's not RMS loudness, it's average loudness, okay? So in the last test, obviously there was tweaks, and there was different pre's involved, and there was just me tweaking to try and get the best sound out of each. So you might find there was different harmonics, there was maybe different dynamics, there was just maybe slight differences that you pick up. Okay, so everything, I promise, is integral LUFS. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to speak about like every one. I'm just going to do what I did last time. Right, so it'll be kick, snare, overheads, rooms, then bass, guitar, and then the vocals will be in the final mix at the end, okay? When all the individual shootouts are done, then I'll speak a little bit, just a little bit, about what I heard and why I picked what I picked. So let's just go all the way through it, okay? Remember, ×8 oversampling, they're all at the same CPU. Everything's set as close as I can get to the hardware, right? Level pegging. Let's do it, and let's see how we go. Okay, right, there we go. So I picked pink every single time. I'm going to try and keep my I went really into it last time, okay? All I'm going to say is that the reason I picked them all out in solo is because I feel that there is a there's a muddiness in the Lindell. The compressors for me in the Lindell just don't have the transients. They just don't come out enough. They just don't have enough depth for me, where the Acoustica does. That's, again, my opinion, right? I'm hearing depth and I'm going, right, there you go. Everything else just stands out a little bit more. The guitars were very, 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 very close. But I just feel that with the guitars, there's a little bit less harshness and a little bit less muddiness a little bit. It's very, very close, but I just feel the Acoustica is a little bit more smoother. And what I will say is that I don't know in terms of what it is with the filters, because in terms of, say, low end kind of sub, the Lindell wins every time. The Lindell has this low end, and it's almost like the low end's been choked in the Acoustica a little bit. And I don't know. I need somebody to tell me why that is, because I've got the frequency response is the exact same. I don't know why that is, guys. I don't know. So the Lindell does have more low end weight there. I will give him its due, especially in the bass and the kick. You're getting a lower end thump. But it's lacking in the mids and the high end. It sounds muddy. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like it's missing that kind of that punch, that kind of clarity that's coming out. And again, people hate the word clarity, but to me, it's like all that muddiness kind of is going to build up. That's what I think is going to happen in the full mix. So yes, the Acoustica is lacking to me in that kind of low sub department, but overall I just feel like everything's just coming out at you a little bit more. There's more depth, there's more 3D, and there's more excitement in the mids and the high end. I feel like just it's lacking. The Lindell lacks in the high end at ×8, and I don't know why. I just again, all the exact same linear frequency response. It might be the harmonics. Remember, THD is set right to the default setting, same as the pre. Again, the pre is on, okay, but again, I've got the input set at 0. So it's the default pre's. It might be the pre's, it might be the aliasing, because again, they've got ×16 in there, so there obviously must still be aliasing at ×8 if they give you ×16, and there is such a jump from ×8 to ×16. So there you go, right? There's my opinions, right? That's what I heard, my opinions. So let's go to the mix and let's hear how those differences stack up and why I pick what I pick. So half of it will be blind test, then I'll show you which one I pick, I'll let you see which one it is, and then that'll be it from there.
Distant memories of a red light, sleepless nightmares, shapeless figures on my bedside, robot heartbeats, tubes and wires, a breathing mouthpiece, a breathing. I gave all I had to give, ain't gonna make it. Don't tell me I must live. I've been waiting patiently, a painfully long time. I need you to set me free softly. Shall I die? The end is nearer, got no fight and left within me. I see it clearer, how relieving can machine won't move, it's going nowhere. Wheels stuck, come spinning. Can I leave, can I go? 'Cause I gave all I had to give. Ain't gonna make it. Don't tell me I'm a slave. I've been waiting patiently, a painfully long time. I need you to set me free. Softly shall I die. No need to cry, already lifeless. It's not a crime, it's only kindness. No need to cry, already lifeless. It's not a crime, it's only kindness. I've been waiting patiently, a painfully long time. I need you to set me free. Softly shall I die. No need to cry.
I'll try and keep this short and sweet, okay? To me, it's night and day. To me, it's night and day. I think that the Acoustica has the depth, it has the 3D character, it has the excitement. I think that at times 8, with everything completely matched, I kind of feel that the Lindell is flat sounding to me. It doesn't have the depth. The compressors do not have the depth to give you those transients and to give you that kind of excitement. But even without the compressors, you know, the thing with the guitars, I feel like there's more of an excitement in the guitars. And overall, I think it maybe is to do with aliasing. Maybe that's why Time 16 sounds so much better. Maybe there's just too much aliasing, and that muddiness that I'm hearing is building up. So when you put them all together, the kind of kick kind of lacks the definition, the bass lacks the definition, the snare just cannot come out that mix. It just can't come out. It's like it's just too murky. Where the Acoustica is very clear and everything's got its space and everything's coming out and it's got the depth. It's just got more excitement. That's my opinion at the end of the day. So guys, all I will say, right, is let me know down below what you think, and please let's not get into arguments, guys, right? Let's not do this, right? Let's not get into this whole politics between Acoustica and Plug-in Alliance, right? Let's just do it audio engineer to audio engineer. Know what? I prefer this. And know what? You're not right or wrong. There is no right or wrong answer. If you like it, you like it. They're tools at the end of the day. My hope is that you take something away from this and you go, I actually prefer that, and that's what I'm going to use. Great. That's all I hope, right? You're not right, you're not wrong. Right? Genuinely, right? It's really, you are right, because it's whatever's right for you, okay? Everybody's got their own opinions, right? So, let's all be friends, like little happy families, okay? Opinions are opinions. We're going to disagree, but know what? Let people disagree, right? Just let it be what it is. Just don't be nasty, right? Because I'll just fucking delete you and I'll just remove you, right? Because I want to like speak about audio and I want everybody to be passionate and just like fucking be like, it's fun. This stuff's fun. Why does it have to be so fucking like argumentative, and people get so passionate and stuff, and people saying you're a shit engineer and you've got shit ears and you've got shit monitoring systems. I'm better than you. It's like, no, fuck, shut up. Right? It's fun. It's fun. Let it be fun. Okay, so like this video, consider subscribing if you've liked this. Okay, there's tons of different videos. I've got plugin shootouts, fucking loads of them. I've just got over 1,600 subscribers in under a year. Right, channel's doing well. I've got plenty more stuff for you. And Dirk, I hope that this test setup has been to your liking, and I hope that you accept my test setup, seeing as my test setup was so wrong. I don't know why it was wrong. I hate when people tell me I'm wrong without telling me why I'm wrong. But hopefully this was a bit of a fairer test setup for you. Okay, so hopefully we can all be friends. And yes, Dirk, my email's in my about section. So if you ever maybe want me to do any few shootouts or any plugin reviews or whatever in the future, then remember, I am a Plugin Alliance user. I do have a Plugin Alliance subscription. I do like a lot of Plugin Alliance plugins. I love your saturation plugins. Again, I use the Nirete channel. I love your compressors. I use the Shadow Hills. I use the Impressor. Lots and lots of great stuff. Okay, so let's all be friends. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. Let's not go and huff. And let's just enjoy audio technology. Okay, see you soon.